The love you give will grow until the whole world sings if you believe in love. Love has shown us time can fly, the nights are seldom long enough, or so it seems. But love can also show the world and make the night end in this home for all your dreams. If you believe enough in someone, your love will send their spirit flying.
Oh, hi! Welcome to the Spaghetti Theater. Would you like to buy a ticket? We're showing the 1984 TV movie, The Night They Saved Christmas. Ooh, more of a forgotten Christmas movie. Yeah, they're not going to be playing that one 24 hours a day like, you know, The Christmas Story. That's why it's only $1. Want a ticket? Come on, it's good for what ails you. Nah? Too much money? Ah, it's alright, I understand. Money's always tight around the holidays for regular people like us, right? Ah, that's alright, even if it's not. I'll tell you a little bit about it anyway. Well, it's called The Night They Saved Christmas. Kind of vague title, right? They saved Christmas? Who the hell is they? Could be Mr. Rogers, could be neo-Nazis. We don't know. So now we have to watch and find out who the hell they even is. Fear not, it's not neo-Nazis. They is merely a somewhat average 1980s family. There's the mother, played by Jaclyn Smith, of the original Charlie's Angels fame, and her workaholic husband, played by, that guy from American Graffiti? Anyway, he works for an oil drilling company, run by this grumpy old rich guy, played by character actor Mason Adams.
I don't care. You have him call me the minute you hear.
This job keeps the family on the constant move with no real place to call home. So now the father drags his whole family to the middle of the Arctic to live in a town so he can go oil drilling at the North Pole. In the Arctic. I didn't even know they had towns there. Why? Is it for oil drillers and their families? You have to be crazy to start a town in the coldest place on earth. So this is the mother's final straw. She's had enough of this moving around and living in shitty climates crap and wants a divorce, I guess. I can't really blame her. He cares more about his job and his wife and 3 doofy kids. Yeah, one of the kids, the oldest one, is played by Scott Grimes. He was in the original Critters movie and the second Critters movie. And more recently, he does the voice of Steve Smith on American Dad. So he's a kid then, and now he's an adult doing the voice of a kid. Huh. And then there's the daughter in the movie who has barely any lines, so you hardly notice she's there.
May I be excused? Me too? Yes, go ahead.
And finally there's the star kid, the youngest kid in the family. He's this angry little whiny shit too. I mean, just look how he talks to his parents.
You just ruined everything. I hate you, Mom. I wish you were dead.
I wish you were dead? I mean, jeez. So the dad goes off to work one day to find a little man in his office. Special celebrity head elf in charge, singer, songwriter, and actor, Paul Williams. Yeah, the actor Paul Williams. As Ed the Elf.
May I help you?
Oh. Yes. Yes, you may.
He comes to tell the oil drillers that their dynamiting is a serious threat to the North Pole in a place called North Pole City. And that if they keep doing it, they might blow up Santa. Okay. Say, I got a better title for this movie. How about Blowing Up Christmas or Blowing Up Santa, you know? Make all this blowing up and dynamite. And Ed the Elf invites the dad to the North Pole City so he can see the shit for himself. And naturally, the dad doesn't believe this little weirdo. I mean, the guy's wearing eye makeup and claiming to be Santa's head elf, okay? So the next morning, Ed the Elf shows up at the guy's house in a huge snowcat. This huge blue snowcat that he claims the army left behind after the war, right? According to him anyway, yeah.
Where did you get that?
The army abandoned it here after the war. It's the only one.
So the dad blows off this little nutbag and heads off to work, leaving this little stranger with his family.
You'll have to discuss it with her. I have an urgent meeting to go to. I'll probably be late.
Why don't you sit down?
once again showing you what's more important. So Ed the Elf then convinces the mother and her 3 kids to get into his Snowcat and drive deep into the North Pole, okay? Yeah, I mean, he could have had a shotgun under the seat, or knockout gas. You don't know, but no, they head off into below 0 temperature so he can introduce them to Santa. I mean, they actually think he's full of shit, but they go anyway. Oh well. So then they are flying 100 miles an hour across the snow in this, 1940s Snowcat. And Ed the Elf is going on about how they have this elf named Dr. Fernando, who's an inventor that upgraded the Snowcat so it could go really fast. And that's one thing. This movie is not short on explanation of how Santa mythology works. From how he gets into your house.
Get up on the people transporter, Ed. I'm going to beam you over to the weather station. I want hourly reports on that ice fog.
To how he delivers all that shit in one night. They really are good at explaining it. They have an answer for everything, almost. So, Ed the Elf actually delivers on his promise, and the family is shocked when they board his personal little sleigh, ride right into Santa's village, and meet Santa Claus himself. This time, played by Art Carney. He looks more like Christopher Lloyd playing Santa, but it's actually Art Carney. I mean, maybe that's just me. I thought he looked a little like Christopher Lloyd, who only a few years earlier, this actor can be seen on the Star Wars holiday special. Yeah. Art Carney, among many other celebrities at the time, appeared on Star Wars holiday special. So anyway, you got Art Carney, who's actually best known for playing Ed Norton. No, not that Ed Norton. The Ed Norton, the character in the 50s TV sitcom The Honeymooners. He was the neighbor, yeah, to Ralph Cramden. He was also in that Twilight Zone episode, Night of the Meek. And the weird thing is, in this Twilight Zone episode, he plays a character who, in the end, becomes Santa Claus. So this is sort of like an origin story to this movie in a weird way, if you want to look at it like that. Only, this Twilight Zone doesn't exactly explain who Santa Claus was originally. It just sort of says, hey, Art Carney, you want to be Santa? You're Santa now. The end. Yeah, so once they're there, the kids are all nailing Santa with questions. This is where we find out more about Dr. Fernando's invention.
There seems to be a lot of different Santa Clauses in the store around Christmas time.
They certainly are. They all couldn't be me now, could they?
It seems it's a logistical impossibility you can deliver all those presents in just one night.
Oh, I was wondering when that would come up.
It would take the whole night just to cover a small area of one city.
You're absolutely right, David. It would take the whole night, if it weren't for the TDD. That's the time deceleration device. Here, let me show you.
Like I said, they're not short on explanation on this movie. I like it. I mean, it's all made up shit, obviously, but at least they got a made up explanation as to how Santa does this crap.
Like they do in the Olympics. Now, as I switch on the TDD, you watch the clock. Now, you see? The TDD is slow time. It decelerates time as I go from area to area, and it slows things down more than enough to give me time to make my deliveries.
Also, while they're there, they meet Mrs. Claus, who's played by another celebrity, famous TV mom. TV mom on Lassie, TV mom on Lost in Space. June Lockhart plays Miss Claus, yeah. She's not in it very long, but yeah.
Welcome. Oh, please come in.
So after the visit and experiencing these tremors caused by the dynamite themselves, the mother and the 3 kids are actually convinced, obviously, just spent the day at the North Pole, met Santa, his elves, and saw all his magic tricks. He basically told you all his secrets.
This is a precise miniature of North Pole City.
Please excuse the crudity of this model. I didn't have time to build it to scale or to paint it. Oh, thank you.
I chose this location because these ice formations, technically called seracs, totally conceal our little city from the sky. Now, the reindeer Zephyr entered here. All an unwelcome visitor would find is an impenetrable ice wall. Our little city is also protected by very sophisticated anti-radar and electronic detection devices. You haven't believed a word I said.
Now, when they return and tell this crazy, wild-ass tale to their father and rich, old oil tycoon guy, they obviously don't believe them. I mean, would you? clearly that little weirdo drugged you and you all hallucinated the same exact thing. It's still more believable than we met Santa at the North Pole and he wants you to start dynamiting his home, okay? You know?
Of sight.
What's that have to do with Santa Claus?
Claudia, look, you've got to understand this. You and the children, you didn't go anywhere. You were obviously given some kind of a hallucinogenic drug and you were held right here in town.
I don't believe this. You think I dreamt the whole thing?
It does seem the best rational explanation. I mean, darling, a remote-controlled reindeer sleigh, a candy cane phone.
So the two older kids actually head back to the North Pole to warn Santa that they're not going to do shit on a stolen snowmobile that they got, and they nearly freeze to death, but they actually make it there only to have the mother go after them in a friggin' plane. So that they all eventually end up going missing, presumed dead, and it all comes down to the oil company. They're all set to blow up the North Pole, crush everything in, kill Santa, kill the guy's wife and kids, because they don't believe any of this crap is happening.
I sure hope he finds him.
Let's face it, Craig, he doesn't have much of a chance.
And all this happening right before the dad discovers oil in another spot that he was sure there was oil in, right? So this isn't about like speaking out against drilling oil. They're still going to drill this somewhere else. So they find, yay, we can still drill oil, but not at the North Pole. We found a better spot. And anyway, they cancel the blowing up of the North Pole just in the nick of time. So after all this shit, the dad realizes finally that his family is more important and quits his stupid oil job. And even the rich old guy gets to see Santa is real. He sees him fly by in the end. He still stays a rich, grizzly old guy, but he actually sees Santa and should be convinced that it's real. Everybody sees Santa fly by in the end.
There he is, Sumner. There he really is.
With their, you know, corny effects.
Santa Claus. I can't believe it.
And that's pretty much it. That was the night they saved Christmas. Personally, I liked it. For a 1984 TV movie, it wasn't terrible. I like how they answer questions that people might actually ask if face to face with the real Santa. You know? Now, the effects on this are clearly cheesy, but work for what it is. I mean, it's a mixture of paintings and models, things like that, but it's a TV movie. It probably didn't have a huge budget. Another thing I wish Dr. Fernando had more screen time. I mean, you don't even see him in the flesh until near the end of the movie, and he's the one who invents all the cool shit that makes Christmas even possible. He's like the professor on Gilligan's Island. He gets no respect, no just respect. He's like, and the rest. You mean the guy that's saving your life, making all this possible? Yeah. I mean, think about it. Besides high-speeding snowcats, candy cane payphones, and time displacement devices that even Santa himself can't seem to figure out.
It's incredibly complicated. As a matter of fact, it's Greek to me.
The guy even invented satellites that can store all the gifts and hover around the planet so Santa can reload his sleigh easier. Now that I think about it, why is Santa hiding all this technology from the world? Shit! You know what he is? He's the northern version of Wakanda. Another thing I want to talk about, that main kid in the movie. I swear he screamed all of his lines.
Daddy! 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 Mr. Faulkner's on the phone. There's oil on Site A. The biggest damn oil field you ever saw.
I knew it! I knew it hit oil there!
But don't you see? That proves Mom was right about Santa Claus. The oil is exactly where he said it was. Not near North Pole City.
It proves there's oil on Site A. That's all.
But don't you see? You believed it was there and you were right.
I guess I haven't listened to you much lately, have I?
No, Dad!
All right, I'm listening.
If you believed this about Santa Claus, you'd be right too. And Santa might have rescued Mom, David, and Marianne. What if they're in North Pole City when you dynamite Site B?
He just seemed like an angry little whiny brat most of the time. You know, and with all this explanation that they were doing, there was just a couple questions I always had about Santa. They did not answer in this or anything else. Like, why is Santa immortal, and where did he get these powers? Then the whole end scene in this movie where they're about to blow up the North Pole and there's a countdown going, and then they have to abort the countdown. They had this flimsy ass way of doing it. It's like there's a guy in a little shack, and he has to hop on a snowmobile and ride out a mile just to tell the two guys that there with the bombs to not do it.
1 minute, 30 seconds. Terminate the countdown. Do you read me? Terminate the countdown.
I read you, Mike. Terminate the countdown.
It's like, if you had, that's a really lousy abort system. I mean, why the hell would he be way out there by himself, not pretty much right next to the other two guys, just in case you need to do a abort? I know, it's a stupid thing, who cares, not really a big deal. It's a dumb thing I noticed in the movie. But all around, I found this to be an entertaining, very 80s, from the talking educational robot named Pal, all the way to the Masters of the Universe bedsheets. It's a family-friendly Christmas movie. It had a good cast and was directed by child actor Jackie Cooper, who grew up to play Perry White in the 1970s, in the Christopher Reeve Superman. And all the original music for this movie was done by Ed the Elf himself. The actor, songwriter, singer Paul Williams. Yeah, he also did the Love Boat theme and the Muppets movie song The Rainbow Connection. Yeah, that was Paul Williams. Yep. So, if you feel like seeing a star-filled Christmas movie with cheesy effects that you've never even heard of before, and like that 1980s feel, give this one a try. I did, and I had a lot of fun with it. So take care, friends, and see you at the movies. I'll always be here. I run this fucking place. Merry Christmas, and have a good night.
If you believe enough in someone, believe the magic they are trying. The love you give will grow until the whole world sings. If you believe enough. Love has shown us time can fly. The nights are seldom long enough, or so it seems. But love can also show the world and make the night end in this home for all your dreams.